Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode. This week's theme is about rejection. It's never fun, it's never easy, it sucks. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Joey. Thanks so much for being here. And if you haven't guessed, this week's theme is about rejection. It's disheartening and it can just be downright draining. But I have some great stories in the works for you. Not in the works, I have them. I have some great stories in the mix for you that coincide with this week's playlist. It is totally amped up. I've got rock, I've got punk, I've got rap. Got it all just to kind of pull you out of that dismal period of being told no when you want something really, really bad. Here's my little bit on rejection. For years, it took me a really long time to accept rejection. I'm a good person. I do good things. Why would someone not want to work with me, et cetera, et cetera. But then I came to realize, hey, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. I've learned to appreciate rejection the older I get. Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, what, Joey? Appreciate rejection? Yeah, because I have learned that when I'm rejected by something or someone, it's usually led me down a different path for the better. I look back and I think, thank God that didn't happen, or thank God that didn't work out, or I didn't get that, or that didn't go through, all for the better, genuinely. So here is a great little story that I want to share about rejection and approval and just seeking things that you want. So years ago, I was doing fashion and jewelry design. And I had these amazing mentors who were kind of giving me some insight on branding, how to price your product, all that sort of fun stuff when you're putting something out in the world to sell. These mentors said something to me that was really plain and simple. If a customer ever questions the price of your product, then they are not your customer. Genius, plain and simple. But it doesn't matter what you are trying to sell, or if you're trying to date someone, you're trying to land a gig, trying to get into grad school. If someone questions your value of maybe what you're creating, what you think you're worth, or maybe just tries to dim your light, why would you want to be with that person? Why would you want to work for that person? It's so easy when someone questions the value of the work that you are passionate about and you put so much time and effort into, and they're like, that's a little much for me. Can you do it cheaper? Can you charge less? No. If you think that that is what it's valued at, we tend to overthink things and doubt ourselves based on what someone else wants. And that's no good. It's no good making less of yourself because, hello, we're worth it. Oh my God. I think that's a Pantene shampoo commercial. Oh my God. You get what I'm saying. Do not devalue yourself. It sucks because that person is rejecting your product. It's easy to kind of think less of yourself, is this not good enough? What's wrong with it? Why do people not want it? They think it's too expensive. Should I sell it for less? That goes for, maybe you're trying to apply for a job. You have all these skills and qualifications, years of experience, and maybe you want a certain amount of money to be compensated for your work. And the employer thinks, well, that's a little too much of what we were looking for. And no, why would you want to sell yourself for less than what you are worth? So that is another rejection thing that you have to deal with. It's wait a minute, I am qualified. I have what it takes. And someone says no, it's just hard to pull yourself out of that. It's hard to put that spring back in your step. It sucks. Hard to kind of keep believing in yourself in sometimes, but I'm here to tell you, don't stop believing. No journey is not on this playlist. I had to throw in that lyric. So here is another awesome story that I love to share. I think we're all music fans on here on this Music and Talk channel. And so one of my favorite stories is about Joan Jett. I recently watched her documentary. And, for those who don't know who she is, she's an awesome rock and roll singer, guitar player. She started the first all-female rock and roll band, the Runaways. And after the Runaways broke up, she wanted to pursue her own solo career. And what I find is still very surprising because she's so amazingly talented, beautiful, just amazing rock and roll singer. She got rejected by 23 record labels. 23! That's a lot of no's. That's a lot of people saying, we don't think you're good enough. And you know what she did? She's like, screw this. I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do my own record label. And you know what? She's a very rich woman for doing that. Her and her manager and producer, Kenny Laguna, they had very little money, so they kind of pooled together what they could to start selling records on their own, to create their own label. And you know what? Because she got rejected by so many people, it led her to start her own label, and she pretty much invented the merch table. You know, anytime you go to a concert and after the show you want to buy a t-shirt, a poster, a record, well, since she was making her own records, they were storing them in the trunk of Kenny Laguna's car, and guess what? You're going to the gigs, the records are in the trunk. Pull some out and sell them after the show. Genius. Rejection led her down a different path for the better. Now, don't get me wrong, not everyone wants to start their own business, but even if you get rejected, sometimes the best path is just still saying yes to yourself, knowing that you deserve more and you deserve better, and whatever it is you were trying to achieve. And I think that's just something to keep in mind when we keep getting told no, and that something better is just around the corner. So rejection can lead you down a better path. It's true. Let's get started with the music. Now, I hope you selected the playlist version on my dashboard. So if you did that, then you will see the music that will play shortly after I'm done talking. In the dashboard, if you select the video, then you're gonna have to go into the comments below and select the music playlist. So starting off with some Miss Joan Jett with some Bad Reputation. I've got some Missing Persons on here, another great rock and roll band with a female lead with Destination Unknown. What's more fitting? Destination Unknown, you get rejected, you don't know where you're going, but you know it's good, okay? Yeah. And I've got these great indie rock bands that I've been really into lately. One is called Surf Curse, and another new great, like my all-time favorite right now is this band called Men I Trust. They kind of have like this dreamy pop electro sound kind of going on. So let me know what you think of that one. And then I've got some classic Clash on here, along with The Nerves. I got The Nerves. And then I've got some Kendrick Lamar on here, and this great UK singer slash rapper named K Young. I don't know, I think it's just a little bit more interesting to listen to when a rapper has an accent. This is a little bit more on the mellow side, but I still really love it. So let me know what you think of this artist. Then finishing off with some classic Tom Petty, some Patti Smith. I've got The Verve on here as well, and The War on Drugs. Okay, my lovelies, thank you so much for listening. If you liked this video, give me a good old thumbs up and subscribe to this channel so you can stay in touch with all the latest episodes that come out. I hope you have fun listening to this week's playlist. If you are facing any sort of rejection right now, you know, there's a better horizon on the way. What? That doesn't even make any sense. I'm not really selling it at this point. Better things are on their way. That's all I gotta say. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for listening, and you should turn it up.